Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare.
Rama Hare
Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paripuracharya Ashtottara Sata Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Iskon BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री मथुरा धाम की श्री द्वारका धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की श्री वृंदावन धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की अग्नि देवी की तुलसी देवी की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नाम संकीर्तन आज्ञा की ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भागवतम की इस्कॉन वर्तमान गुरुविंद की इस्कॉन ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की श्री कृष्ण जन्माष्टमी महोत्सव की गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Sri Guru the lotus feet of his masters, the only way by which we can take the process. I bow down to the lotus feet with great calm reverence. Let me praise across the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prayer emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. Today is Krishna sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord master of all horses. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shape of your lotus feet. May your fame be spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter in the lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Raja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Raja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnupada Paramahansa Paribrajakacharya Sutara Satasishima Tirandashami Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Jaygurudev Jai Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, is there someone translating? I guess not necessary. Everyone understands English here. Yes. No translation necessary. So we're reading from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 3, which is entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. And we're reading verse number 28. So, Ete Chamsa Kalaha Pumsa Krishna Tu Bhagavan Swayam Indraari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete chang sakala pumsa Ete chang sakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete chang sakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete chang sakala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge
Ete cham sakala pumsa
Ete cham sakala pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge
Mridayanti Yuge Yuge
Ete chang sakala pumsaha
Ete chang sakala pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge
Ete cham sakala pumsa
Ete cham sakala pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge
Ete chang sakala pumsa
Ete chang sakala pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge
Ete chang sakala pumsa
Ete cham sakala pumsa
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam
Vyakulam Lokam
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge
Hridayanti Yuge Yuge Ete all these Cha and Anksha plenary portions Kalaha portions of the plenary portions
Portions of the plenary portions
Pumsaha, of the Supreme, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Tu, but Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Swayam, in person, Indra Ari, the enemies of Indra, Vyakulam, disturbed, Lokam, all the planets, Mridayanti, gives protection, Yuge Yuge, in different ages. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Kindly repeat. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Purport. In this particular stanza, Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars, incarnations, because out of His causeless mercy, the Lord descends from His transcendental abode. Avatar means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord Himself, descend on the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life, to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes He comes Himself, and sometimes His different plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, or His differentiated portions, directly or indirectly, empowered by Him, descend on this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of opulences, all powers, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions of the parts, or the parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of His different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. For example, Lord Parashuram and Lord Nishinga displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriya 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrow. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many, many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and in all other aspects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Nishinga. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Jamadagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings, powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narada and plenary incarnation Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Rama and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balaram, Mohini and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayan Rishi exhibited his renunciation. So, all the different incarnations of the Lord indirectly or directly manifested different features. But Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that He is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Shri Krishna was His internal energetic manifestation of His pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss and knowledge, although these are manifested apparently as sex love. The specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto. And in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos. According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative sources, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the Supreme Truth in full are present in the person of Lord Shri Krishna, and in the Bhagavad Gita the Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than or equal to Himself. In this stanza, the word Svayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than Himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagavan because of their specific functions, nowhere are they declared to be the Supreme Personality. In this stanza, the word Svayam signifies the supremacy of this as the Samam Bonum. The Samam Bonum, Krishna, is one without a second. He Himself has expanded Himself in various parts, portions and particles, as Svayam Rupa, Svayam Prakash, Tadikatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilas, Avatar, Avesha and Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Samam Bonum, Krishna, to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentage of these attributes, but Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes 100%, and His personal expansions such as Svayam Prakash and Tadikatma, up to the categories of the avatars who are all Vishnu Tattva, possess up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatar nor avesha, nor in between them, possesses almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas, or the individual living beings in different statuses of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of the attributes. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living being possesses these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect of living beings is Brahma, the supreme administrator of one universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attributes in fullness, but he can never become God like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings who are residents of the planets in the spiritual sky, or eternal associates of God and different spiritual planets like Haridham and Maheshdham. The abode of Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishnaloka or Goloka Vrindavan, and the perfected living beings, by developing 78% of the above attributes in fullness, can enter the planet of Krishnaloka after leaving the present material body. Ete changsa kalah pumsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord, but Lord Shri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananda Shalakaya Chakshushu Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So today is the day when Lord Sri Krishna is celebrated to have appeared on this planet a little more than 5,000 years ago, which is a very short time ago. When you consider the millions and hundreds of millions of years, the history of this planet, 5,000 years ago, not too long ago. What to say of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, only 500 years ago. So the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is still very much alive in the consciousness of people, and mainly it is alive, Lord Krishna is alive in the form of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, when Lord Krishna disappeared, that was the end of Dwapara Yuga, and the sages at Naimisharanya asked Sutta Goswami, now that the Lord is not anymore present on this planet, who will protect religion? Where will the Lord? How will the Lord protect religion now that He is gone? And the sages of Naimisharanya answered that actually the Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna. So we have the opportunity to study Srimad Bhagavatam daily. Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nittam bhagavata sevaya. Always study Srimad Bhagavatam. Particularly it is the mercy and the dedication, humility, and determination of the founder Acharya of this Krishna consciousness movement, that we have the Bhagavatam in English and German and Portuguese and Spanish, so many languages, Russian. But anyhow, how the Srimad Bhagavatam appeared in 1965 in America was incredible. Actually, when Krishna was born, he actually appeared as four-handed Vishnu in front of his father and mother, Vasudeva and Devaki. He didn't, he appeared, he manifested himself. First in the mind of Devaki, of Vasudeva, then he was transferred to the womb of Devaki. And then he appeared as four-handed Vishnu in front of Devaki and Vasudeva. And you can imagine how Devaki and Vasudeva were amazed, and the whole, he appeared, Lord Sri Krishna appeared in the prison, as we know, in the dungeons in Mathura, where he was locked away. The parents, Vasudeva and Devaki, were locked away by Kamsa, who was afraid of the seventh child which would be born from them because of a prophecy that was told from the sky. So, because he was a great demon, because he was such a great demon, he was afraid that the prophecy may become true. And therefore he wanted to kill, he wanted to kill Devaki on the spot. And Vasudeva said, no, don't do this. It's a terrible thing. You cannot kill your sister like this, on the day of her marriage. This is something obnoxious. I promise to you, Kamsa, that I will deliver each child to you. You can do whatever you want. And when the seventh child is, then I will deliver the child to you. You can dispose of him. But now don't kill Devaki. So in this way, Vasudeva very nicely pacified Kamsa. It wasn't easy to pacify Kamsa. He was so angry, and he was a demon, as we know. So anyhow, Lord Krishna appeared as four-handed Vishnu in the prison of Kamsa to Vasudeva and Devaki. And Vasudeva and Devaki prayed to Lord Vishnu to please change his appearance as Vishnu, because it's very dangerous that the whole dungeon, the whole prison was lit. There was a lot of light, and they asked Vishnu, they offered their obeisances, and they asked Vishnu to please change the form into a small baby so that we can save you, right? So Lord Vishnu took the appearance of a small child, Krishna, beautiful child, and at that moment Vasudeva took Lord Krishna in his arms, and the shackles which were on his hands and his legs just opened, and he carried a small baby Krishna, and at that point the gates of the prison, boom, they opened, and he went out, and the guards fell asleep. It's all by the arrangements of Krishna's energy, Yoga Maya. Krishna has so many energies. This energy created such a situation that Vasudeva could easily carry baby Krishna from the prison, and he walked all the way to the Yamuna. There was a lot of water flowing through the Yamuna river. It was after the monsoons, and it parted. It parted, and Vasudeva didn't have to take a boat or swim across with Krishna. Yogamaya arranged that the water just parted. These are the opulences of the Lord. But anyhow, he carried him all the way, Lord Krishna, and a small baby, he carried him to Vrindavan. It's not too far from Mathura. And there he came, also Yogamaya was acting there. Everywhere Yogamaya was arranging everything nicely so that Krishna's pastimes can manifest. So Krishna came to the, Vasudeva came to the house of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. And Yashoda just delivered a small child. And she was sleeping because she was very tired after labor. And Vasudeva came and swapped the children. He took the little child which was just born from Yashoda. She didn't even know if it was a boy or a girl. And everybody was asleep there also. These were the actions. And therefore it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. And also, anyone who knows the transcendental nature, what is that verse? On my appearance, who knows that verse? Janma karmaschame divyam. Divyam means transcendental. Janma, karma, we don't have transcendental janma. We were all born at delivery in a hospital or at home. It wasn't very transcendental or birth, to say the least. So Krishna's appearance is transcendental. So anyhow, so then he swapped the children, and Krishna was with as a foster child of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. He took the little child from Yashoda and brought it to the prison. And as we know, it was a girl, it was Durga Devi, who appeared as the daughter of Yashoda. It was all arranged by Krishna. So anyhow, then he came back to the prison, laid the child, and everything became as before. The doors closed, boom, yeah, and suddenly, but there was a tumult. The guards were saying, the 7th child is born now. The 8th child is born now. So Kamsa immediately found out about it, and he went down to the cell where they were locked up, Vasudeva and Devaki. He grabbed the child and wanted to kill it. Yeah? But the child just slipped out of his arms, and it was Durga. And she told Kamsa, "You rascal!" Can you imagine, you rascal, what she did. She was right way above him, in her most incredible form, with all the swords. She has 10 arms. And she told him, "You rascal, Krishna is already born and he will kill you, don't worry." And Kamsa was shaking. He was so afraid, so shocked. So this was the transcendental birth of Lord Shri Krishna, which is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in mainly in Krishna book by Srila Prabhupada. So anyhow, the Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna. And as Vasudeva carried Krishna on his head to Vrindavan, through the rivers of the Yamuna which parted, right? So in a similar fashion, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, he carried the Srimad Bhagavatam from India to America, the literary incarnation of Krishna. Bhagavatam is now no ordinary book, no ordinary book. And Srila Prabhupada survived. He never left India, Srila Prabhupada. In the 70 years that he lived, always only in India. He never left India. And he started to write the Srimad Bhagavatam in 1962. He started to translate the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Before, he wrote Easy Journey to Other Planets, and of course his quarterly magazine Back to Godhead. And once he was preaching to some of his well-wishers in Vrindavan, and he told him, Swamiji, why don't you translate some books? It would be nicer, it would be more potent. Prabhupada took this as a direct instruction from his Guru Maharaj and started to translate the Srimad Bhagavatam, a literary incarnation of Krishna. And then, at that point, things started to happen. And really things started to move in a way which is completely transcendental. Just like the doors of the prison of Kamsa opened and all the guards fell asleep. Yeah? So similarly, things started to happen when Srila Prabhupada started to manifest the Srimad Bhagavatam, first part and second part and third part of the first canto. Everything started to shape up, Krishna started to manifest his transcendental potency. The energy of Krishna, Yogamaya, started to act, right? In a way that the Srimad Bhagavatam can be manifested to the world. Before Srila Prabhupada translated the Srimad Bhagavatam into English, the Bhagavatam was known only to a few people in India. The literary incarnation of Krishna was known only to a few people, just scholars, some devotees, Vaishnavas, but generally no one knew about the Bhagavatam. So when Srila Prabhupada started to translate the Bhagavatam with purports which he wrote not only of his own, I would say, philosophical understanding, but by consulting the commentaries by the great acharyas. Srila Prabhupada never translated and mainly purported. That's why we call these purports. I remember when I was translating Prabhupada's Bhagavatam into the language of my country, Czech language, we had BBT discussions. Should we write commentaries or should we write purports in the Czech language? It's a difference. We could have written, Prabhupada could have written commentaries, commentary. He didn't. He wrote purport. So we were discussing with the BBT. I said, no. You cannot put commentaries. You have to put purport in the Czech language. Because Prabhupada didn't write his commentaries. These weren't his ideas. Many scholars, they like commentaries to these kind of shastras, commentaries. Srila Prabhupada wasn't like that. Srila Prabhupada wrote purports, which means that he had all these different purports, commentaries actually, by the different Vaishnava acharyas, and he studied all these. It was a very scientific endeavor Prabhupada had when he was writing the Srimad Bhagavatam. It was not some kind of a scholar or some kind of an enlightened person. Prabhupada was a really scientific person in all aspects of his dealings with the world and also in his literary works, right? So anyhow, suddenly things started to shape up. Prabhupada would get people to purchase the first canto of the first part, and then with the money that he got from selling these few copies to the libraries, to the embassies, to the government, Prabhupada was selling these books himself. And slowly but surely things started to manifest in a way which was completely transcendental. Srila Prabhupada himself was saying that it was like a magic. Yogamaya was working, just like when Krishna was born 5,000 years ago. So then some person said, well, you know, my son, he lives in America. Wouldn't you like to go to America to preach? Prabhupada said, of course, come on. I want to go and distribute Srimad Bhagavatam. So he got the address of Mr. Agarwal, and Mr. Agarwal, sure enough, sent him an invitation. Prabhupada didn't even actually expect that it would work out. You know, he was thinking of, he will never send this Mr. Agarwal, he will forget it. But suddenly it manifested. Srila Prabhupada got the invitation, sponsorship, that Mr. Agarwal will sponsor him, yeah. And then things started to again manifest more and more. Prabhupada was all alone. It's an amazing thing, like how he managed to manifest the Bhagavata, first canto in 3 parts, how he succeeded to get the sponsorship from the USA, how he succeeded to get the no objection certificate from the Bank of India that he can take exchange, how he got his passport, visa for America, right? And last but not least, how he got sponsored his travels from India to America. He didn't fly in an airplane. He didn't even take one of these luxurious boats for passengers. Nothing. He was completely like helpless. So he went to Bombay in those days because there was one lady, Srimati Moraji, who he sold some first canto of Bhagavatam, he sold to her. She was a very, very wealthy lady, Vaishnavi, devotee of Krishna. And he couldn't even get to her because the secretary said, oh, Swamiji, you know, we have no time. They were blocking him from going to Sumati Maharaji. And then Prabhupada was determined. This determination of Srila Prabhupada is what makes ISKCON work, you know. Hadn't he been so determined, it would never manifest what we are living now in the world, throughout the world, including in such remote places like Brazil, isn't it? So, yes. So he was so determined. So he sat on the stairs in front of the big building where this Scindia shipping company had its headquarters. And he was just waiting until Sumati Maharaji came out. You know. Can you imagine? It's a simple, small... Srila Prabhupada was very short. He wasn't a big guy, you know. A short little gentleman in saffron. And literally alone, unknown. So he sat in front of the building of Scindia steamship company, and Sumati Maharaji came out. Oh, Swamiji, what are you doing here? And he said, Mataji, I'm waiting for you. And she said, oh, what do you want? She said, oh, come with me, come with me, come with me. So he went with Sumati Maharaji to her office. She was very courteous. She was extremely Vaishnavi, very, very nice devotee of Krishna, you know. Very advanced. And Prabhupada said, I would need a sponsorship that you kindly deliver me a ticket to go to America. And Sumati Maharaji said, no, you're too old. You will die on the road. You will die. I cannot give you money for it. I cannot be responsible for your death. Come on, you know. So Prabhupada said, no, don't worry, I'm okay. Just please arrange for me a ticket to America. And again, Yogamaya, the spiritual energy of the Lord acted in a way which was very special. Sumati Maharaji's mind changed. It's completely like when the doors of Kamsa's prison opened, So the doors of Sumati Maharaj's consciences opened, yeah, and she said, okay, I will give you a free ticket, return ticket, not only one way but back also, return ticket to New York with one of my cargo ships, the Jaygurudev, which will be leaving shortly in August from the port of Calcutta. You can have everything there arranged. I'll sign all the papers and my secretaries will arrange for you. So Prabhupada said, Jai Krishna's mercy. Yeah? Yeah. And then he went back to Vrindavan and prepared everything. He packed up nicely all the Srimad Bhagavatam, the literary incarnations of Krishna, put them in a trunk. He had 200 sets of, and he had some person deliver it to the port of Calcutta, right? And then before he actually left India, he still visited Mayapur. He was in Mayapur in one, there was one pujari, he said, he described this, that that was in Shantipur, in Advaita Acharya's temple, and Prabhupada was there, all in the back of the temple, and was chanting, 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 and crying and crying and chanting and crying, because he was so much inspired by the Lord. Right? So anyhow, the pujari there, he was very impressed by this sadhu who was so humble, sitting in the back of the temple and just chanting, chanting, chanting. So anyhow, that pujari also recognized Prabhupada after he founded the movement, and he said that he was here. So he prayed to Lord Krishna and to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to kindly allow him to go to America and that everything will be okay, on the order of his Guru Maharaj. All this was going on the order of Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada wasn't his own man, as we say. He didn't act on his own behalf. He was a humble, obedient, determined, sincere, pure servant of his spiritual master. So anyhow, he boarded the Jaygurudev. There was only his son, Vrindavan Chandra, who accompanied him to the ship, and Srila Prabhupada all alone. The books were of course charged into the cargo, they were put into the boat, and he mounted the Jaygurudev, and then the Jaygurudev went from Calcutta down to Cape Comorin, up to Cochin, which is on the western side of India. There actually, if I remember well, there where the books were charged in Cochin, not in Calcutta. Prabhupada was just with the suitcase in Calcutta, and the books were shipped from Vrindavan to Cochin, that is on the west coast, which is the last international port of departure from India. So the books were charged, put on the boat, and then Srila Prabhupada started his long journey, very long journey, across the Indian Ocean, and then all the way to the Red Sea, and then he went through the Suez Canal, right? And all the way he was just like Vasudeva, carrying Krishna on his head in a basket, right? So Prabhupada wasn't carrying Bhagavatam on his head in the basket, but it was the same story, repeating itself in the same way, So he took the Bhagavatam, it was in the boat. Then they passed Suez Canal, and they came to the Mediterranean, and the Mediterranean was very rough in those days. There was a storm in the Mediterranean Sea. It was so rough, And Srila Prabhupada was feeling very, very bad. He felt so bad that he actually thought that he would leave his body, right? But the Lord had His own plan, and Srila Prabhupada survived this terrible storms in the Mediterranean. Yeah, he was very, very sick. 3 times he had this feelings that, you know, his heart would break, you know. It was terrible. So much pain he had, you know. And he had a dream that